Hello, my beautiful, beautiful people. This is Anna Sharif again. So today I want us to lend our voices to ending child marriage in Sierra Leone. Child marriage is a global issue. It is not an African issue. It is not a Sierra Leone issue. Child marriage is global. So this is the reason why I'm asking for each and every one of us to come on board and lend our voices, because child marriage can happen to any family. Each and every one of us have our own children. We have our own nieces and nephews, and no one wants their nieces and nephews or daughters or sons getting married at the age of 8, 9, 10 years.
Marrying people at the age of 8 is not right. It is not only marrying. It's like the Maasai customs. If you go, a man goes to your house and you're pregnant, they give you a ring, you wear it on your small finger. And they say, if you deliver a baby girl, it's going to be the wife.
I mean, they be small one, so I go now. So I didn't want me to I can say, man, no come more for you. Wait for married you now. I say, hey, mommy, I say, man, I want I married to say because now, because if you marry now, I say, school the boy. The man he wants me for me to say, who me born me, and say, open at me hand.
Child marriage, in my opinion, is one of the worst forms of child abuse. It's a gross violation of women's human rights, and at the same time, it will not allow our girls to maximize their potential. So we'll have a decreased workforce, and productivity will be reduced.
Every year, 10 million girls are forcibly married before the age of 18 in Africa, the Americas, Asia, and Europe.
That is something like 25,000 girls every day.
People don't seem to talk much about child brides. Perhaps it is seen as a family issue and not a public one, or a cultural issue and not one of human rights. But I cannot stay silent.
According to Save the Children, Sierra Leone has the 19th highest child marriage rate in the world, with 13% of girls married by age 15 and 39% by age 18. Now, we know each country has a law that considers you to be a child. If you are below the age 18, you are considered to be a minor. You're a child. And anyone who goes against that is violating the human right of that child. You are taking away the innocence of that child. Every country get law where say if you dey below age 18, you not picking. And anybody will go against that, we married picking at that age, we violate the picking, we rape picking. They don't violate that picking human right. However, though, there is a clause in every constitution that goes against all these human rights violations that we're trying to bring to light, all these human rights violations that we are talking about. But I'll come to that later.
This is a grave human rights issue, but it's also a development issue. How can you improve girls' education when they're taken out of school to be married? How can you reduce maternal or child mortality when girls are giving birth at 12 or 13? How can you reduce poverty when child marriage perpetuates poverty?
One statistics I didn't see in all of these, the video and the statistics given by Save the Children, is of our boys. I've maintained this view that we have neglected our boys for far too long. In every conversation, we have eliminated our boy child when it comes to rape, gender-based violence, early child marriage, everything relating to social justice issues. We have forgotten our boys. Why? Because society have accepted that a boy child is a boy child. They're going to grow up to be the man. And when they grow up to be the man, and we see all these abuses on their women, their sisters, some of them even their mothers, we start asking why. Why? Because we didn't teach our boys on how to behave with women. There is a guy, his name is Kobe on YouTube. So most of these videos you're going to see are from YouTube. His name is Kobe. He does this social experiment on all of these social justice issues that we're talking about. So he did one on ending child marriage, where he brought in a 65-year-old man marrying a 12-year-old girl, and a 50-year-old woman marrying a 12-year-old boy. You know, the reactions were good and bad. To me, that is my opinion. Good for the girl and really appalling for the boy. Let's take a look.
Excuse me?
Where is her mom?
Your mom is in her house.
She's young.
Yeah, but the parents, they gave me permission to marry her.
Marry her?
Yes.
She's young.
It's okay.
What are you doing with someone at her
The
age?
parents, they gave me permission.
How old is she?
12. She's 12. She's 12.
12?
Yes.
How old are you?
Doesn't matter. 65. It's legal.
Not in this
I have permission from the parents. Permission from the parents.
How old is he? He's 12. Where's his mother?
I have permission from his parents.
Okay, this is disgusting on so many levels. What do you expect with a corrupt government?
Alrighty. Great. Thanks a lot. You guys married?
Yeah,
Married?
just got married.
How old is he?
He's 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 50.
50 years old.
Yeah.
Y'all just got married?
Yeah. I got.
His parents were okay with that?
Yeah. They gave us permission.
Real big Johnny, bro. That's good. Wow.
He's happy.
He's good? You happy? You happy, man? High five. Respect.
Now tell me you are not cringing watching that. And did you see the reactions? It was amazing for the girl, appalling for the boy. The reason me saying appalling for the boy is the fifth pump you saw those guys giving that boy, laughing at the age of 12. A child is about to lose his innocence, and you have these men laughing, giving him high five and all that, even though they saw the disgust in the boy's face. It's across the globe. Because when a boy child had sex at that early age, they say it's the initiation, right? Now you have become a man. No, you not become a man. You're not a man. A 12-year-old picking, just because you don't go the door with woman, no mean say you're not a man. Wait till that woman, they go teach you. Most of them big woman there. Most of these older women marrying these younger boys don't teach them nothing about womanhood. All they want them for is sex. And these boys grow up, and most of the times they don't even last with these women. Now they grow up resenting this particular woman who have taken away their childhood, and that continues into their adulthood, and they started becoming violent against women. We have all these abuses going on. You know, this is the reason why, you know, we struggle most of the time, man. We struggle some of the women there, and we wonder why. We wonder why. Why? Because if a man had sex at an early age 12, 13, 14, 15, and they started considering themselves as a man, when they didn't learn anything, they didn't grow up, they still have a mindset of a boy when they become adult. We marry these 40, 50, 60-year-old men, and we still struggle with them in our relationships. And you're asking yourself, why does he behave like a child? It's because he never grew up. That woman did not allow him to grow up. And they you know, when some of them, even when they marry, they talk to their wives as if their wives are children under them, because they had started having that sex at that early age. At that early age. You know, one thing I want us to focus on in that particular video is the word permission. Permission, which is the clause I was talking about in every constitution. Every constitution has that clause. We saw where the two adults marrying these children, emphasizing on the word permission. We got permission from the parent. Permission. And even when people were saying it's illegal, they said, no, it is legal. It is legal. And the ignorance of us the public, some of us don't even know these laws. We in our head we know it's illegal, but there is a clause in the Constitution that says it is legal as long as you get permission. I'll get to that when we get to later. The permission from the parent, and we know 99% of the time family members, because of poverty is a disease, it's a sickness, it's a crime against humanity, people will give permission. Also, change is not possible if we do not get everybody on board. The conversation has to include everyone, not only one body, not only one party, not only one individual. Everyone has to be on board for change to be attainable and sustainable.
We want to bring to the attention of this nation that the effect of early marriage, teenage pregnancies, rape, child prostitution, gender-based violence against women have to be looked into by everyone in this country.
You know, whenever we have a conversation on social justice issues, on changes that we want to take place, we need three parties. One, the mothers, two, the men, and three, the government, which consists of all three parties. The mothers are the first teachers, the first defense lawyers, the first doctors, musicians, and everything in between. The mother's voice is the most powerful voice that is. However, the mothers have failed to teach their boy child the importance of a woman. We have failed to teach our boys that beating on a woman, abusing a woman, physically abusing a woman, I might say, rape does not make you a man. We have failed to educate our boys that if you curse on a woman, abuse a woman, remember that you have a mother. A mother's voice is as powerful. Two, the mothers are the first defense lawyers. Now tell me you're going to beat on my son. Tell me you're going to marry my son at the age of 8, 9, 12. By God, you see what a mother will do. The mothers are the first doctors. You know, when our children get sick, we know exactly what to do. Sometimes we even take them to the hospital. We know exactly what medication to give them. We sing to them. We are the first musicians. Our voices are the first voice the child enjoys. Why? Because we sing lullabies to them to go to bed. We sing to them. We put them to sleep. So the mother's voice is as powerful. This is the reason why a mother is a vital part in raising the boy child. Because before you become a man, you had your mother. Before the man became a man, or the first woman, that man had an intimate relationship with his mother. Before a man becomes a man and start making all these rules and regulations that goes against the woman, the mother had always been there, raising him stages by stages. Most of these rules that these men come and make and put in place favors no woman. Even in scriptures, most of these things that they talk about in scriptures goes against every human right of a woman. So this is the reason why mothers need to be on board in all these social justice issues, because we are the first point of contact in raising our boy child to grow up to become a man. Two, we need the men to come on board. Every social change has to include men. The men has to accept that what they are doing, some, not all, is not right. And until their mindset is changed, until they are on board with every issues that we're talking about, rape, gender-based violence, early child marriage, you know, if their mindset is not changed, all of these social justice issues we're talking about will not happen.
Any discourse or intervention must include men for greater impact.
This is the reason why I love Family Initiative Network that focused on changing the mindset of men. Because if a man decides to protect his family, his daughter, his wife, his mother, no one will come there to beat on them. If that man don't say, I dey protect me girl picking today, I dey protect me boy picking, I will protect me wife and me mama, me family, nobody no go ever can take advantage of them. So that I make a leg that organization, Family Initiative Network, will actually focus on the man them. 3, we need the government. Any change will they try for make, the government need for them on board. If the government not there on board and revisit some of them with archaic laws them, such as the customary marriage law, initiatives such as hands off our girls by the First Lady and let girls be girls, not brides, will not be sustainable. Why? Because we have this customary marriage law which contradicts every treaties, every human right violations we're talking about. Because according to this customary marriage law, it states a customary marriage law requires the consent. Consent is the word. As we heard those two adults talking about permission, consent of the wife's family. Otherwise, the marriage is null and void. If the family not good, the marriage not going to take place. But that word consent, and now we know 99% of the time because of poverty, because of people them poor, when they in a village and even understand for educate them picking them. Then go take that and 10-year-old picking and go give them all of grandpa them for marry them. But already married 6-7 wives because according to this law, a man can marry any woman where he please as long as able to afford it. And we know some of them not even able to afford the woman there, but they marry them. You know, instead of families investing on their daughters, educate your daughter. Because of that worry, because it says again, the common future is the requirement of a dowry, which may take place in the form of monetary payment or a promise to perform future services to the wife's parent. But that worry, well, how much that money where they will give women? I was speaking to one of my friends, wait tell me say, she told me about an African proverb that said, when you educate a man, you educate an individual. When you educate a woman, you've educated a nation. So if you invest on una girl picking them, the girl picking them will do so much for una. Past that dowry money una don't.
The money where then they give we for the bride price, na 2 months in the last week. That if you even boko. Or the money where you picking will get where a land book and get work, na lifetime it will last to na all.
Just imagine what would happen if we invest more in girls, enabling them to make choices, to earn a living with dignity, to break the cycle of illiteracy, the cycle of ill health, the cycle of poverty that traps them and their communities.
Imagine if we connect all those around the world who are working bravely to end child marriage. Imagine the scale of change possible.
We can do more than imagine. We can end child marriage now. Let girls be girls and not brides.
Yes, my people. So today, let us join hands with the First Lady. Lord, join out with the First Lady by saying, hands off our girls.
We, as First Lady, will stand together in unity to shout, hands off our girls. What do we all say? Hands off our girls. Thank you.